Welcome to this week's edition of Warrior Weekly. I'm Matt Prink. Joining me, Travis Whipple, as always. And Travis, women's soccer, 7th consecutive NSIC title. Just another great weekend as they ended the season with a 5-1 victory over Moorhead, and just yet another great season for Warrior soccer.
Absolutely, and I think they've continued to improve as they've gone this season, and that's what you really want. You want to play your best soccer this time of year. Now they're ranked 2nd in the region, so a great possibility of hosting a regional tournament here in Winona, which I think would do a lot, obviously, for our soccer team, but also the community. And a fantastic season. I think a very balanced team, in my opinion. You know, you kind of look at some of the performances throughout the year, and any given day anybody could step up, and postseason awards start to come out. I think that'll reflect that. 5 members of the team named to the first team, all NSIC, and 2 of them named to the second team. And then, of course, Jennifer DeRue, newcomer of the year, and Annabelle Pedio as the defensive player of the year in the conference. So very well deserved there, and Coach Omar and the staff just do a great job.
Yeah, you look at you remember back to last season when they didn't make the playoffs, regional playoffs, and they won the NSIC regular season schedule. They did that again this year. Finished 14-3-1, 11-1-1. So yet another great finish for them. And you said it, Travis, just from top to bottom, just the deep team who can score and play defense.
I think that's absolutely the kind of team you want to put together. Very dynamic team, versatile. And you mentioned last year they didn't make the tournament, and I think that's kind of been fueling this team, or a part of that fuel this year. And so in a very good position right now to close out the NSIC conference tournament, and then opportunities out there to host the region.
Yeah, make sure you get down to Verizon Wireless Stadium. That's tonight down at Maxwell Field at 5 o'clock. Warriors are the #1 seed in the tournament, and they take on the Upper Iowa Peacocks. And moving on to football, Travis, just a great weekend for NSIC Players of the Week. Rayon Simmons had his best day of his career, 19 carries, 196 yards, 4 touchdowns in the first half, ended up getting 5 touchdowns. What a day by Rayon Simmons, who's really been a consistent runner and had a breakout performance on Saturday.
Absolutely. He's really been kind of the workhorse and the beast on this team, and great to see him, cash those in for touchdowns. A well-deserved performance, but I think the run game is really the bread and butter and sets up the rest. And Brian Bradshaw kind of quietly here doing a nice job managing the game, not making the turnovers, making throws when he needs to. And when you have that kind of run game with the Simmons, the Dewberrys, et cetera, on down the line, it makes sense. It's good formula right now.
Yeah, Brian Bradshaw didn't have a touchdown pass, had just 1 interception, but had fairly good decision making in the 44-19 victory in Marshall. And you can tell why they ran the ball so much. It was a windy, blustery day, not much warmer than 45 degrees. So hats off once again to the coaching staff of Winona State, keeping this team in the hunt for the Mineral Water Bowl and even the NCAA playoffs.
Well, you don't know how it's going to shake out, and I think if you do your part, you win out. There's a great opportunity there, if nothing else, to go to the mineral water game, which should be a huge accomplishment. You want to continue to extend that season. It helps going into the next, but right now in great position to do some things here and make a run at the postseason.
Warrior Volleyball probably had their best performance of the season this past weekend, taking on Moorhead and Crookston here at McGowan Gymnasium. And we'll talk with Shannon McGowan, NSIC Defensive Player of the Week. And Trash, she had 60 kills in 1 weekend, and a very well-deserved honor.
Yeah, she's been just a defensive presence for us here for a number of years, and just a tremendous student athlete. And I think she kind of looks at it kind of like a one-on-one matchup, where she's reading that offensive player and she's going to get those digs. And what a great person, great student athlete for Winona State, who works extremely hard.
Yeah, you look at the weekend, and whether it was Friday or Saturday, a great team effort. Kaylin Eulenhock had a great day setting the volleyball, and she set up her kill specialist, Kathy Loaf, who had 17 on Friday and another 15 on Saturday, as well as the trio. Jesse Peterson, Allie Glish also had 15 kills. So, you talk with Coach Simon, he said, that's when we win, is when we have that consistent effort from all 6 women on the floor.
Well, you want to have options no matter what sport you play. You want to have a variety of weapons to utilize, so to speak. But I think the setter is so vital. I'm a little biased coming as a point guard on the basketball court. I know how imperative that position is, and I look at the setter as a similar type role. And so that's really come along. I think the team chemistry has come a long ways here this year, and they'll look to finish the year strong.
Well, coming up, we'll actually talk with 3-time NSIC Defensive Player of the Year, Shannon McGowan. Warrior Weekly will continue right after this.
Financial Fraidy Caddis. Anxiety of banking, money, and credit planning to assume qualities of frightened feline, i.e. scaredy cat.
I never heard of financial fraidy caddis, but I think I had it. To me, financial fraidy caddis is when you walk into a bank and it scares you. Nobody's smiling, nobody will help you, and you're not quite sure where to go. Merchants Bank is different. You walk in and you're greeted with a smile. So they make you feel comfortable right off the bat. That's why Merchants Bank is the bank that service builds.
Welcome back to Warrior Weekly. I'm here with NSIC Defensive Player of the Week, Shannon McGowan. And Shannon, you guys had a great weekend beating Moorhead and Crookston. What made you guys so successful this past weekend?
I think it helped a lot that we had 3 offensive players in double-digit kills and then 3 defensive players in double-digit kills. So it really shows that our setters did a good job distributing the ball and incorporating our entire offense.
You also had a very good weekend yourself, totaling 60 digs, 27 one day, 33 the next day. When you're out there on the court, what is kind of your mindset when the opposing team is trying to kill the volleyball?
Yeah, I don't know, I guess it's kind of like that defensive mentality that coaches talk about, where I look at it as kind of like a one-on-one game between the hitter and myself, and it's like just me trying to not let them get the kill and them trying to go after and get the kill. So it's just a one-on-one challenge between each other.
Kind of talk a little bit about Kathy Loaf. She's been pretty much that dominant force in the middle. What makes Kathy so good? She had 17 kills on Friday, and you talked about the trio who had 15 kills on Saturday. What makes that front court so good?
Well, Kathy works so hard every day in practice, and she just like busts her butt every day, and definitely you can see that it pays off in the games. And likewise with all the hitters, they're all just competing with one another every day in practice, and I think having that competition every day at practice really helps to push everyone to improve in that.
Maybe looking ahead at the rest of the season, you know, you're in the tough NSIC, a lot of ranked opponents still left on the schedule. What are you guys trying to focus on to make a good run, and a good run maybe at the playoffs?
Yeah, well right now we're just kind of focusing on these next 2 matches we have coming up with Augie and Wayne, but we're just focusing on all those things that we've talked about all year, and like executing and just doing those little things that we've discussed and really implementing them so we can pull out these next few wins.
Well, once again, thank you, Shannon, the 3-time NSIC Defensive Player of the Week. Glad to have you here at Winona State. Coming up next on Warrior Weekly, we'll talk a little bit about women's basketball and then men's basketball, which gets underway tonight against the University of Eau Claire. Welcome back to Warrior Weekly here on the set, overlooking McGowan Gymnasium. The men's basketball team just getting done practicing, Travis, and they get underway tonight against the UW Eau Claire, hoping to get off to a better start than they did last season. Yeah,
and you know, this is a new year, new team, and obviously some new additions to this year's roster. And quite frankly, I think it's one of the best we've had here in years. Now it's about coming together, gelling as a unit, and finding that rotation that really works well together. You know, I joke around a lot with some of the guys and the coaching staff. I don't think I'd make the team. I mean, they're that good. They've got a lot of talent and a lot of size. I think always exciting when you come into the year with that opportunity to play a Division I opponent in the University of Minnesota. With that being said, they got to take care of business one at a time. That's kind of their philosophy, and they start with Wisconsin Eau Claire.
Yeah, I think it's pretty important that you don't look past Eau Claire.
Absolutely.
Maybe like how you looked past lacrosse last season. looking ahead to teams like the Gophers and St. Thomas coming up next week. Moving over to women's basketball, Travis, they took on a very good UW Green Bay team earlier this week. Score was a little lopsided, but I think that's a good thing for this team to maybe grow from this exhibition season.
Well, and again, it's a situation where there's a lot of excitement when you've got 3 Division I teams on your schedule, and that's the kind of competition you want to play. I think it'll only help down the road in the NSIC, which is such a difficult league. But going into Green Bay, I mean, I think everybody, Coach Ballard included, knew that it was going to be a difficult challenge. I mean, they're a tremendous team, a top 15 Division I program with, they play an interesting style, a very pressure defense oriented, which you don't see a lot with a lot of lengthy athletes that they had. So it was a difficult style. I don't think our team matched up typically or very well with them, but I think there's a lot of good things that came out of it. You look at having 31 turnovers, and that's something you can improve on. Still shot the ball well, still got a nice rotation in there. Everybody got to play, so I think there's a ton of positives to take away from that, and you move on and you look forward to the University of Wisconsin on Thursday.
What a great weekend for Warrior Sports, having 3 NSIC Players of the Week and really kind of all the sports going on at once. Women travel to the Kohl Center on Thursday for a 7 o'clock matchup with the Wisconsin Badgers. That can be heard on KQAL 89.5. Starting at 6:30 for pregame with Steve Carley and myself. Men play tonight here at home. Volleyball homestand against Augustana and Wayne State. Soccer tonight as well. And then you look at the University of Mary coming in as Warrior football tries to continue their success and win out this season. That'll do it for this week's edition of Warrior Weekly. We'll see you next week.